Mr. Haddad present. For Mr. Henry, who continues to be present. State, yes.
As a formality, state rule at this point, what has been provided to our previous.
Salute, what's up, Ballin? This is the YNW Portland, basically the precursor to his hearing today that's about to take place here in a second, man. It's basically him, if he wants to plea out to a 16-year sentence instead of facing a life in prison. This is the homeboy of YNW Melly, guys, who is also facing these same charges, but is not being given this opportunity. I wonder what he'll decide. Will he take 16 years in jail, or will he stay in there forever, man? We're going to most definitely take a look. Double tap that screen, man. Get the likes up. Most definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. All right, that's what fine.
Also, the state motion.
Shout out to Miss Poohbar for that gift.
Yeah, to file your motion of order.
Correct, but I think we agreed that that's moved to the other call.
The two witnesses. All right, I'll handle that when we do the arguments tomorrow.
Just so Your Honor knew it wasn't something that
Understood.
was heavily litigated.
Yeah, that's fine. So the only thing I'm going to press pause on the all pending motions, and again, we're going to resume tomorrow at 9 o'clock. That's the defense motion to suppress. I'll give you a ruling on the state's unopposed motion for relief from the trial order, as well as the state's motion.
What's up, Al?
But I'm going to let each side continue to present whatever evidence, witnesses, or testimony they'd like to do before that. So I'm going to pause on the evidentiary portion today. I do want to have a quick conversation with Mr. Henry. I'm going to put him under oath, talk to him about the charges, make sure he understands the maximum possible penalties, make sure he understands the state offer.
I think that's something else that defense wants to see about.
Well, I'm going to put it on the record right now, but he doesn't have to tell me what his answer is now. But I just want to make sure he has all the info. And what I'll tell you all, I'll be back here tomorrow, and then, you know, I'm going to tell Mr. Henry this as well, but for his benefit now, if he wants to resolve the cases by way of a negotiated plea, that's fine with me. And if he doesn't want to, that's fine with me too. But the one thing that I am going to change, if you need me to, I can put him on maybe Tuesday afternoon, the 9th. I'd rather just not do it. I'd rather know yes or no the day before, because there's a significant, number one, I don't want him to feel any pressure. But number two, I got 250 citizens coming in here Wednesday morning, and there's just...
Yeah.
If need be.
I have a hearing at 3:30.
It's fee hearings, you know.
Yeah, so I don't really have to say.
But I'm going to be here, right? Okay. All right, so Mr. Henry, listen, I'm going to put you under oath and ask you some questions, okay? It's only going to be as it relates to the state's offer, and it's only as to make sure that you understand the state's offer and you understand the charges that you're facing here. We're not going to talk about anything else.
Thank you, Miss Poohbar, for that
10 questions.
Shout out to you.
Okay? Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, all truth, nothing but the truth. Okay, you can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now? All right. How are you feeling?
Continue to get those likes up, guys. Double tap that screen.
You understand what's going on? All right, so Mr. Henry, listen, you've got two cases. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, right now, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged,
will he take the plea, guys?
And I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felony. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State prison. Okay? In your other case, which is case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged as follows. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State prison. All right? As the maximum penalty. Count 2 is directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering, and again, as it's charged, That is also a life felony. The maximum penalty is life in Florida State Prison. And lastly, count 7 is unlawful use of a two-way communication device.
What's up,
As
man?
that's charged, the second-degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison.
Will he take the
So
deal,
right now,
guys? Make sure y'all double
as to
tap
all the
that
charges
screen.
that
Get
you're
the
facing,
likes up.
the maximum possible penalties are as follows. It's life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison. Do you understand the charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? Okay. So, Mr. Henry, the state is telling me that they're extending an offer to you, and the offer is as follows. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, they're going to null process or drop counts 1 and 2, both first-degree murder charges. Okay? And in exchange for that, as to counts 3 and 4, in that case, the accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, you're going to plead no contest to both of those. And as to the 4 counts in case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 of those counts. And in exchange,
Now, I want y'all to listen to what they're offering him. They're offering him 16 years in prison. They're willing to drop 2 unaliving cases if he'll plead to other things that he have done and take 16 years in jail, guys. If you were facing 2 possible life sentences or basically the lethal, poke, would you take those 16 years or would you take it to trial? That's my question, guys. What would you do?
for all of that, the state is offering that I would adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to the bottom of your sentencing guidelines, which is 195.45 months, about 16, it's a shade over 16 years and 3 months, 16 years and 3 months. All of those sentences will run concurrently, that is at the same time with each other. I would give you credit for all the time that you have served, understanding that you have a lot less credit time on the 23 case because it's a newer case. So that is what would be controlling. Whatever credit time you have on the 23 case, you can subtract that from the 100
I think
and...
he actually has more time on the 23 case than the 19 case.
Oh, okay, well, whichever case you have more time, less time in custody, that's what would happen. And you get the credit for all the time that you served. And again, that sentence would be 16 years, a shade over 16 years, 3 months in Florida State Prison. I would have to order restitution. The state would tell me the amount of that restitution. That restitution would be joint several with any of the other co-defendants. If any of the other co-defendants were convicted at trial or entered pleas. In other words, the restitution only has to be paid once, but each person is responsible for 100% of it. All right, but as soon as it's paid, it's paid. I would have to impose mandatory court costs in each case, and I would have to impose a mandatory cost of prosecution in each case, which is $100. So, Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, the 16 years, 3 months, and a shade more. So I'm going to pause on it at this point, Mr. Henry. It's going to give you some time, whether that be tonight or also over the weekend, to talk to your lawyers about it, make sure they answer all your questions, talk to your family about it so you can make a decision as to what you want to do. Now, let me explain this to you, sir. I can't make the state make you an offer, and I can't make you accept any offer. I'm just the referee, okay? This is a business decision between you, your lawyers, and the state. And if you want to accept it and resolve both cases that way, that's fine with me. And if you want to have a trial on both cases, that's fine with me too. It doesn't matter to me in any way, shape, or form. But whether it be tomorrow, when I see you tomorrow, and then Ms. Wilcox, who already has tomorrow at 9 o'clock, that'll remain on. But I'll put them on both cases as well.
Shout out to Valerie
Tuesday,
for
which is
becoming a
September the 9th,
member.
which is called 1:30
We
in the
appreciate
afternoon.
you.
September the 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon, we'll call it trial status in both cases. That's when we're gonna have to finish this conversation, Mr. Henry, and you're gonna have to tell me that either that you understand the offer that the state's making, that your lawyers have answered your questions about it, and then you're gonna have to tell me what your decision is.
I'm kind of with you, Southern Girl. Now,
Mr. Henry, the one additional thing that I like to talk to people who are sitting in this situation that you're sitting in.
I agree with you, Southern Girl, but the key factor is, does him taking a plea mean that he has to testify against Y&W Melly? If, when Melly goes to court, is that part of the plea? I don't know. But it could be like Young Thug and Gunna situation, kinda. What I mean by is he takes the plea deal if it'll affect YNW Melly any kind of way. Thank you, Valerie. I wonder if his plea, if he decides to take this plea, will it affect YNW Melly? That is the question. But it seems like a no-brainer. They're willing to drop 2 unaliving cases, and basically, which carry life sentences, both of them, to basically give you a 16-year in prison deal that doesn't even involve those unalivings. It seems like most people will take that. But I wonder if it affects Melly's case to where it's even a question whether he'll take it or not.
Right now to have these conversations as follows. The reason that I'm doing this is because I want the record to be clear what the state's offer was, and the record to be clear that you understood it and that you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about it. You had enough time to talk to your family about it. You weren't under any pressure to make a decision, whatever you thought was in your best interest. Because it goes kind of like this.
Thank you for the gifts.
And I'm sure your lawyers can speak to it better than I can. If you accept the state's offer, that's fine. And again, if you don't accept it, that's fine too. But if you don't accept it, and one of these trials doesn't go your way, and you end up with life in Florida State Prison, which is a mandatory sentence on a lot of these counts, usually people in that situation, then they'll file what's called a motion for post-conviction relief, and they'll say, hey, Judge, my lawyer never told me, I didn't know that I could resolve all this for 16 years and 3 months, and if they would have told me that, I would have done it. And now I'm sitting here with a life sentence. So that's the reason I'm having this conversation now, so the record's going to be crystal clear on that issue. If it doesn't go your way, that argument's not going to be available to you to come back and say, hey, my lawyers didn't tell me about this, or I didn't know about this, so that's why I'm talking to you about it now. So, Mr. Henry, do you have any questions for me about the maximum possible penalties involved and what the state's offer is to you as we're talking about it right now? Okay. All right, so I'm going to pause on that part of the conversation, and we'll finish that other part of the conversation either tomorrow or next Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to leave you on for tomorrow, all pending motions, which is September the 5th at 9 o'clock. I have one other matter that I need to handle prior to that with Mr. Gibson and Mr. Percio. I don't imagine that's going to take too long, and then I'll be right with you all tomorrow. And then Ms. Wilcox, we're going to put both of Mr. Henry's cases on Tuesday, September the 9th, 1:30 p.m. We'll call that trial status, and he remains set for trial in both cases on Wednesday, September the 10th at 9 o'clock. Understanding
Thank you, Val.
if we go forward with the trial, it's going to be on the murder case, the 19-1871 CF10. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Mr. Haddad, anything else you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry today? Okay. All right, so we'll press pause at that point, Mr. Henry. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock, which is Friday, September the 5th. Ms. Wilcox, is that otherwise?
Will he take the deal, guys?
Okay, so the FT is otherwise going to be in recess until tomorrow, which is Friday, September 5th at 8:45 a.m. I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon. All right, Mr. Court Reporter.
It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Hold up. We got more. We're waiting on them to start the live footage, man. Hold on real quick. You know, he actually spoke on the double homicides that he's facing in court.
Yeah, Mr. Henry, you can stay right there with your lawyers. Just speak loudly, okay, so we won't keep hearing the answers. Raise your right hand for me, please. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Okay, you put your hand down. Please state your full name and spell your full name.
My name is Corey, C-O-R-T-M-E-A,
Okay. Sir, you may inquire.
Mr. Henry, we just want to talk about what happened in the hospital on October 26, 2018. Do you recall driving to the hospital? You gotta speak up and answer yes or no, so it's gonna happen.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen. Most definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new.
When you were placed in that room, approximately how many officers were present? 5 or 6. And approximately, if you can remember, how long were you in the hospital prior to the 2 detectives arriving and speaking to you? You were there for a little bit before they got there.
Oh, wait, so
The detectives.
the kids let me talk to me?
Matter of fact, hold on. As a matter of fact, let's go here. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, because I got where they actually brought in and where why all of this was discussed. Let's go here.
And what did that conversation consist of?
Upon arrival, I pretty much asked him what had happened.
This is them giving up some of the information, some of the evidence that they have against Bortland. This was the same thing, where we were just watching, just in a longer form. We're actually waiting on them right now to basically begin court for today. But this is a little bit of the backstory for y'all that don't know.
And what was going on. Based off, he looked like he was in distress sitting on the bench. So just trying to figure out what was going on.
What was going on? What was going on around you when you first started talking to him?
You had medical personnel coming out of the hospital, trying to extract the victims from the vehicle, get them inside, and apply aid to them.
Were there any other officers present?
Yes.
Do you know how many were present?
I don't recall.
Do you recall where they were? Like where they were standing?
The officers?
Yes.
I had my FTO next to me, Officer Luna, and Jessica Amengor. She was standing outside the emergency room.
So it was just you and Officer Patrick Luna who were talking to Mr. Henry?
Yes.
How were you dressed? How were the both of you dressed?
Road Patrol uniform, Miramar Police insignia.
If you could just briefly, what was your conversation with Mr. Henry?
I can refer to my report?
Yeah,
That's fine.
refer to the recollection?
Yes.
Go ahead and take a look. Oh,
Yeah, so based off the what I observed with the vehicle and the victims, pretty much asked them what had happened, what was going on, where did this
Selling girl
occur,
say he done
how did this
flipped
occur,
already.
just to get basic general information to provide to the detectives that were going to come on scene.
did he provide you that information?
Yes.
Did he tell you?
Let's get the likes up, guys. We need 100 on that like. Double tap that screen and click those 3 dots. Hit that thumbs up. It helps out the channel, man. This is YNW
I provided
Bortland.
to the detectives that are right on scene.
And the cops basically revealing some of the evidence they have against him.
I don't recall.
Long period of time, short period of time?
Approximately about an hour.
And the entire conversation, where did that take place?
In the outside emergency bay, and then he was
He
either
allegedly
he was
took
either
out 2
admitted to a
people.
room, or they took him into a room and we spoke to him in there as well.
He's facing accessory after the fact, conspiracy, witness tampering, and gang-related activities, guys.
At any point in time, did you leave Mr. Henry?
I did.
When did you leave?
When I had finished talking to him.
Were there any other officers present when you left?
I would say another officer took my role and stayed with him when I left the room, yes.
And do you know when the detectives arrived?
I don't.
At any point in time when you were with Mr. Henry, did you ever advise him that he was in custody or under arrest?
No, I didn't.
And he's also facing 2 first-degree unaliving charges, guys, along with those other charges that I just read to y'all. Continue to double tap that screen. That's how you get the likes up, or click those 3 dots and hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. This is YNW Bortland, guys.
Good morning.
You proceeded to the Miramar Hospital because of dispatch.
Yes, sir.
That was dispatch to all units. How many police charges? And
I don't recall. Good amount?
fair amount, more than a few.
Yes.
Yeah, allegedly, but that's what he's facing, the purple one.
That'd be fair. Anybody on duty at night, got money?
IGT
I
is
wouldn't say
keeping
everybody,
y'all up to
just
date
the whole
with what's
city's a
going
patrol.
on in the
The
chat,
monuments
guys.
were there.
All of the charges and everything you need to know. Just read my
I don't recall.
moderator IGT's comment.
How many do you recall?
I'm sorry?
How many do you recall?
Approximate?
Yeah,
When I arrived on scene, it was just about 3 or 4 units on scene.
3 or 4. By the time you left, how many?
Probably 10 to 12.
10 to 12. Okay. Now let me ask you this. When you arrived, you saw the Jeep office. It had a couple of people in it.
Uh,
Jeeps.
correct.
Okay. And Mr. Henry was out of the car?
Correct.
You know, the police lady, excuse me, person in charge of the emergency room had to sit on the bench awaiting the arrival of the police.
I don't recall.
Right. Nobody had extracted the body, correct?
Not that I saw, no.
Was there an investigation into the cause of death ongoing?
I don't recall.
Did you investigate the cause of death?
I did not.
You asked Mr. Henry what happened, correct?
Correct.
And he told you what?
That he and his buddies got shot at in Fort Lauderdale. They were leaving a party.
But didn't you say that he and I had not on vehicle drove by and had multiple shots that he was driving? That was what you report?
Correct, on the highway.
Yeah, okay. And you said, he told you where it was, and your report about the units responded to the area of I-75 there in our park.
This is Borland live in the courtroom right now, guys.
Units were unable to.
As we wait on them to enable sound.
Correct?
Correct.
That was, what time, that, did you direct them to know the area you were shooting?
I did not.
You know who did?
I do not.
He told you, when he told you the area you shooting, you noted it here, correct?
When you say it, I'm sorry, repeat?
Your report notes the area of the shooting. Does that come from something you heard from Mr. Henry? Does that come from a compilation of the other reports?
As we see him
Well,
talking to his
Portland
lawyers,
advice
guys,
to me.
double tap that screen, get the lights up.
Detectives or anybody else?
I did.
You dispatched it over your,
No, no.
What?
I spoke to the detectives.
Okay. Did you tell anybody else this is where the scene was?
Not that I recall.
Did you go to the scene?
I did.
You did?
I did, yes.
Did you go look for evidence of the shooting?
I did.
Before the detectives arrived?
After they arrived.
Okay. Did you find anything?
I did not.
Did you report back to the detectives? Did you see anything?
Correct.
Who was with you when you were doing it?
Today is the deadline for him to
Nearmark
accept
police
the
officers.
plea or not accept it, guys. We will know here shortly whether he took the
They were
deal or not.
correct?
Not that I recall.
Thank you very much.
Based on that, any redirect?
No.
All right, state is the witness excused. All right, so you missed that now. Thank you very much. While he's doing that, state, you may call your next witness.
Save a call.
As we wait on the judge to get in, guys. Yeah, we got live action. Make sure you're getting those lights up. Double tap that screen, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. He can plead to 16 years. And basically they'll drop the 2 unaliving charges. They'll drop the 2 life sentence things that he could basically get life sentences for in exchange for his plea. Or he can deny and go to trial and face life in
Sir, if I could have you
prison.
come all the way up to the witness stand, please. Once you reach it, but before you have a seat, you can just stop and look at me, please. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. I do. Please be seated. Sir, once you're seated, if I could just keep that chair forward as far as it'll go. You can adjust that microphone so it's pointed directly at your mouth. Can you please state your full name and spell your full name?
Stephen Toyota, STEPHEN TOYOTA.
State your name, Clark.
Good morning. Capital Dynamics. It's a global investment firm.
And back in, when did you retire from the New York Police Department?
February of 2021.
And were you working with the New York Police Department back in October of 2018?
I was.
In what capacity?
Homicide detective.
And on that night, did you receive a call to respond?
Let's pause this. Seems like we got action inside the courtroom live here, guys. The judge has entered the building. That was a little bit of the backstory. You know, basically they were saying what they had against this guy and what they did not. Today is the day for him to plea. We're live in the courtroom. Double tap that screen, guys. Get the lights up. How many of y'all think that he took the deal? How many of y'all think that he didn't? Matter of fact, let me put a poll in the chat. All right, the poll should be in the chat now, guys. How many of y'all think he'll take the 16-year deal? How many of y'all think he will turn it down, guys? 16 years compared to a life sentence, doesn't seem that bad, guys. Let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? In the chat. Make sure you're voting on the poll. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new. And most definitely double tap that screen, man. And that's how you hit the like button or click those 3 dots and hit that thumbs up. We're live in the courtroom with YNW Portland, guys. Seeing if he's going to take the plea deal or if he's going to take it to trial. He allegedly took out his 2 homeboys. What's up with it, sexy toy lady? He seems to be all smiles, guys. He's all smiles within the courtroom. Y'all think he took that deal? Let me know by voting on the poll, man. We're going to know for sure in a minute. We're going to see how many of us are right and how many of us are wrong. Continue to double tap that screen. Let's get the lights up. Click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up. Share out the live, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're live in the courtroom with YNW Portland. We're going to know today if he took that plea deal or not. Make sure you vote on the poll that's in the chat, guys. I mean, he's facing 2 unaliving charges, guys, that he can get wiped off the table if he takes the plea deal. He'll have to do 16 years, but 16 years sounds better than a life sentence, guys. He's all smiles. I think he might have took it.
Okay, let me go back on the record. This is on the top.
Here we go.
5 State versus Portland Henry, 19-1871 CF10A and 23-10643 CF10A. I've got Ms. Collins, Mr. Cribbs present for the state. I've got Mr. Haddad, Mr. Nascimento present for Mr. Henry. He likewise is present. So I had set this afternoon for the deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry wanted to accept the state offer or not. We're set to go to jury selection tomorrow morning. So Mr. Haddad and Mr. Nascimento will go forward to change the plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously, or is there anything different?
No, Your Honor, that has changed. Correctly.
So the pre-forms to me look like, in the 19 case, as to the 2 counts of accessory after the fact, as well as to all 4 counts in the 23 case. These are going to be adjudications, 10 years for the state prison, followed by.
All right, let me. They got the judge's mic low.
All counts are running concurrently, all sentences run
I'm gonna turn the music down so we can hear it.
It looks like.
Hold up.
There's no restitution in the 23 case, in the 19 case, I'm reserving restitution in order in the payable, that's going to be Terry Geiger as well as Ashley Phillips.
We've spoken to them and they don't anticipate there being any restitution.
Well, I'll give you 120 days to tell me the amount. The
Yes, sir.
amount.
Thank you, Tootsie Well.
So, our capacity has gone to them.
Okay.
As of today, they said that it's not.
Good afternoon to you as well.
He's also going to be giving proper, Your Honor, at a later time.
Is that part of the negotiated resolution?
It is.
So tell me how that works. Sure. Sure, come on up. Madam Clerk.
They're discussing everything he would have, all the little things that go on with him taking the plea deal. Oh wow, I don't know what that's all about. They put a bunch of static in there, but they're about to let us know if he took it or not, guys. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're voting on the poll, whether you think he took it or not. You know what I'm saying? Vote on the poll that's in the chat while we wait to get the official word. They were going over all the details right then before they had a sidebar and created all that static, man. But basically, he's facing 2 life sentences. You know what I'm saying? If they keep the unalivings of his 2 friends on the table and he takes it to trial, or he can get off. They'll take both of those unaliving cases away and give him 16 years behind bars. And then after 16 years, he becomes a free man. Would you take that deal or wouldn't you take that deal is the question. And that's what I posed to y'all in the chat. Will he take 16 years? If Boylan accepts, he would be sentenced to 16 years and 3 months in prison with credit for time already served. Hold on, let me see what else it's saying. For credit with already served, the sentence for the charges would run concurrently, guys. So he would face like accessory charges and things of that nature, but nothing like 2 unalivings, you know, basically where he could do a life sentence, y'all. So I think the smartest thing to do is to take the plea deal. But I'm wondering if he accepts the plea deal, will it affect the Melly case? Y'all know Melly is about to go back on trial, I think in 2026. He one of the longest people to ever be kept in the county jail without bail, pending a trial, guys. He's been in there for a long time, like 5-6 years or something like that. Melly's been there. Okay, we're back. Maybe we got sound. We got sound. Let's go.
And I'm going to ask you some questions. If I ask you something you don't understand, please let me
Shout
know.
out to Nicole Gonzalez for getting that membership.
You got all the answers, okay? Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? You can put your hand down. Please state your full name.
I think he took it.
How far did you go in school? Do you read and understand the English language? Are you presently under the influence of any drugs, medication, or alcohol? Have you ever been treated for a mental illness? Are they giving you any medication in the jail right now?
Shout out to Bama B. I think you made your calling, big homie. I think you should have been the judge. Let's go.
Pending felony cases and stuff. Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether he understands what's going on?
Nothing at all.
All right, so Mr. Henry, it's 2 cases, sir. I'm going to go one at a time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State Prison. Counts 3 and 4 are accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State Prison. In case number 23-10643,
I'm in the pose so it moves, guys.
CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first-degree felony.
83% of y'all said he'll take it. 38% said he won't. Let's see who right.
Tampering, again, as it relates to a first-degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State Prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device as charged. That's a second-degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison. So, sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
Whoa!
Sir, do you understand all the pending charges and the maximum possible penalties involved? And it's my understanding that you want to resolve both cases today. Is that correct?
He took the
Resolution
plea.
is an agreement you've reached with the state.
He took
Terms
it.
of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the
He took the
23
deal.
case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process, that is, drop the 2 first-degree murder cases. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. What's happening with that?
That would be no problem.
So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device?
Just the tampering and the unlawful use.
Will this hurt Melly, guys? Will this hurt Melly? He
State,
took
you're
the
gonna
deal.
null count 2 and count 5,
Correct, Your Honor.
as it relates only to Mr. Henry.
Correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty on the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count. I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be
10.
followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum
It's a
exposure,
third degree, Your Honor.
it's the second.
10 years prison, 6 years probation, guys. He took the deal.
I'm happy to
Our
look it up.
system has a third that we discussed, so.
Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
Let's get those lights up past 300, guys. Double tap that screen.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so sir, as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs. I'm going to order restitution payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservists to the amount. I'm going to give the state 100
Let's get the lights
days
past
to deny that
300. Double
restitution.
tap that screen
If
if
they
you're on a
fail to
mobile
do so within
device.
120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's unrelated to this negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution. In other words, the deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated. And
He
that's
finna
all.
tell it.
You understand that?
In my
sir?
opinion, I think he
Have
finna
you
tell
had
it.
time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions? You're sure that that's what you want to do? Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy, whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon because
if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you've changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. All right? If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can
Thank
accept
you for the
deal
gift.
today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words, because I've given you plenty of time to think about this, talk to your lawyers about it, talk to your family about it. I talked to you about it last week. Kind of looks like your lawyers probably did something or other to get a better disposition for you as of this afternoon, but this is it today. So understanding all that, you've had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that, that's what you want to do. So, sir,
Portland took the deal,
has anyone
guys.
forced you, threatened you, or coerced you into entering these pleas? If I accept your pleas, there will not be a trial in either one of these cases. Do you understand that? If I accept these pleas, there's a whole bunch of constitutional rights you are giving up. I want to make sure you understand all of those rights. You have the right to maintain your plea of not guilty and have a trial in each case. You have the right to present defenses, to file motions and other pleadings in support of your defense. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have the state prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to confront and cross-examine the witnesses against you. You have the right to appeal any decisions that I may have made up to this point or any rulings I might make in a future trial. But understanding by entering this negotiated resolution today, you are giving up all of those rights. The matter is going to be resolved today, right now, this afternoon. Is that what you want to do? Are you satisfied with your lawyers? Have you had enough time to speak with them? Have they answered all your questions? Are you satisfied with all the work that they have done for you? Sir, I've got two identical plea forms here entitled Plea of Guilty or No Contest to Criminal Charges in Circuit Court. Each one has your name on the top, your initials on the left-hand side, front and back, and your signature on the back. Did you go over both of these forms? Any questions about what's on either of these forms? And is that your signature on the back of each form? Sir, there's a few things that I need to tell everyone that I take a plea from. They may or may not apply to you. If you are not a citizen of the United States, these pleas will result in your deportation. Do you understand that? Under the provisions of the Jimmy Rice Act, if the offenses to which you are pleading are sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses, or if you've been previously convicted of such offenses, then these pleas will subject you to an involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon completion of your sentences. Do you understand that? If these are drug offenses, the Department of Motor Vehicles will revoke your driver's license for a period of 1 year. Do you understand that? Sir, paragraph 11 of each form that you sign reads as follows. I acknowledge that my attorney and I have reviewed any discovery disclosed by the state. My attorney and I are unaware of any physical evidence for which DNA may exonerate me. In other words, sir, if there's any physical evidence in the case that we could test for DNA, that DNA evidence would not tell me that you were not one of the people in that vehicle when these crimes occurred. But actually the opposite would be true. If there was any such physical evidence that could be tested for DNA, that DNA evidence would tell me that you were one of the two people that was inside this vehicle when these crimes occurred. Sir, do you agree with that statement? State, do you agree with that statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, do you agree with that statement? Mr. Henry, understanding everything that I have talked to you about up to this point, do you still want to go ahead and resolve both cases today, right now? Defense, is he stipulating to a factual basis for the purpose of each plea in both cases?
Yes.
And if he's entitled to a PSI defense, are you going to waive that as to each case?
Absolutely.
State, is there anything else that you need me to do before I take this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Henry, again, two cases. We're going to do one at a time. In case number 19, 1871 CF10A, as to count 3, accessory after the fact to murder in the first degree, and as to count 4, accessory after the fact as to murder in the first degree. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? In case number 23, 10643 CF10A, as to count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and count 7, unlawful use of a two-way communication device. How are you going to plead, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? I will accept your no contest pleas as to each. I'm going to find a factual basis to support each based upon my review of each electronic probable cause affidavit as well as your stipulation in court here today. I'm going to further find that you have freely, voluntarily, and intelligently waived your rights, that you have knowingly entered each plea with the advice of competent counsel, who you've told me that you are satisfied with, that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of the plea. Accordingly, and pursuant to the negotiated agreement, I will sentence you as follows. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, as to count 3 and count 4, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need a set of your prints and DNA. Pursuant to 938.27, I will impose a cost of prosecution of $100. Sir, I'm also ordering restitution in that case payable to Terry, T-E-R-R-I Bagley, B-A-G-L-E-Y, and Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-Y Phillips, P-H-I-L-L-I-P-S, and reserving as to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of the restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution.
Yes, it is,
I will
Jason.
conclude that. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, as to count 1 and count 7, I will adjudicate you guilty. Count 7 is a sentence of 5 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is a sentence of 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of reporting probation. I will impose mandatory court costs in that case as well. I will not impose the cost of prosecution in that case as I just did so in the previous case. Pursuant to 943.325, I will need another set of your prints and DNA. All of these, there is no restitution in that case. All of these sentences, all counts, both cases, will run concurrently, that is at the same time with each other. I will give you credit for all the time that you have served. State, in 19-1871 CF10A, your announcement as to counts 1 and 2.
The state will announce the whole process to those counts, Your Honor.
And in case number 23-10643 CF10A, state your announcement as to count 2 and count 5.
The state will announce the whole process to those counts as well.
Okay. I think that concludes all the matters. State, is there anything else that you need me to do regarding Mr. Henry in either case?
Mr. We just have one moment.
Yeah, they are ran consecutively. They are consecutive. So he just played out to 10 years in jail and 6 years of probation, guys, in this whole case. This is crazy, y'all. I wonder if this affects Melly directly in his case. Now that Borland has pleaded out.
I'm looking at the plea forms, the 23 case.
Hold on.
They have 707 days credit for time served. In the 19 case, 1,340 days credit for time served.
No, the court is in Florida, guys. Broward County. Now, they said that the detectives basically, or the prosecutors want to speak with Borland regarding some issues that they have. Probably want him to testify against Melly, guys. If he refuses, because it's part of his plea deal, they will go back on this plea deal, and he will have to basically go to trial, or they will try him, guys. I'm thinking they want him to tell on Melly, allegedly.
Anything else?
As part of his plea
defense
deal.
on behalf of Mr. Henry. All right, Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good luck, sir.
Kenny, they just said that. He said it earlier. It is part of it.
Mr. Haddad. We'll have a probation officer here tomorrow. He'll be on my docket tomorrow morning for instructions on probation. So I will sign all the paperwork if you want to stick around for that. We're otherwise going to be in recess till 3:30 p.m. The plea hearing docket starts at 3:30 p.m., so I'll be in a recess until then.
They most definitely just said that. Ballin said, yes, they did. Yeah, they most definitely said that. So Borland took the deal, guys. He's looking at his family. He's coming home. He all smiles, guys. 10 years in jail, 6 years probation. They said something about a proffer deal, and that either detectives or the prosecutors want to speak with him. and he has to speak with them as part of the deal. He's steady taking pictures, showing his teeth. Look at him. He's all smiles about what he did, guys. He got hopes of coming home. He was facing 2 life sentences. And basically, he just beat him by taking the deal offered by the state, guys. Y&W Bortland sentenced to 10 years in jail and 6 years probation, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. And most definitely hit that like button by double tapping that screen or clicking those 3 dots, man, and hitting that thumbs up. Breaking news. Y&W Bortland accepts the plea deal of 16 years, guys, and they all ran consecutively. So he's going to be locked up for 10 years, then get out, and basically be on probation for 6 more. That's crazy, y'all. Wow. I don't know how this affects Melly case, but I think it most definitely will, y'all. Whichever. Concurrent, not consecutive, my bad. It's all gonna be ran concurrent. That's Y&W Bortland, for y'all that don't know. This is Melly's home, Y&W Melly's homeboy, who was allegedly in the car with him when they took out, when Melly allegedly took out his 2 best friends. This is the guy that drove him to the hospital and basically got himself arrested and charged with accessory after the fact. Just took a plea deal for 10 years incarceration and 6 years probation. Kenny Joe keep on saying that we gonna rewind it back, dog. We gonna rewind it back, Kenny, just for you. Once they get done, we gonna run it back. We gonna hear exactly what the judge said. And if you down there typing misleading information in my chat, I'ma block you. I'm telling you right now. So moderators, one of y'all keep his comment on the screen, so as soon as I show him that I'm right and he wrong, I can block him. So Bortland's all smile, guys. He's happy about his decision. He feel like he made the right one. Throwing them the deuce, y'all. He is happy, y'all. Look at it. Yes, probation starts after you do the 10 years. And he been locked up for a while too. Maybe not as long as Melly, but he most definitely been locked up as well. Hold on. Let's run this back a little bit to where the judge was telling them what's up. Let's see what the judge exactly said. Kenny, this your time to shine. If you wrong, you getting blocked. Just know that.
This is Cortland Henry, 19-1871 CF10A and 23. 10643 CF10A. I've got Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths present for the state. I've got Mr. Haddad, Mr. Nascimento present for Mr. Henry, who likewise is present. So I had set this afternoon, put the deadline as to whether or not Mr. Henry wanted to accept the state's offer or not. We're set to go to jury selection tomorrow morning, so Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento will go forward to change of plea this afternoon. And state, is it the same terms that you discussed previously, or is there anything different?
No, Your Honor, that has changed correctly from the forms.
So the preforms to me look like on the 19 case as to the 2 counts of accessory after the fact, as well as to all 4 counts in the 23 case. These are going to be adjudications, 10 years for the 23 case. These are going to be adjudications, 10 years for the state prison, followed by, that's a 6 years probation.
That's correct, Your Honor.
6 years probation. All counts are run concurrently, all sentences run concurrently with one another. It looks like there's no restitution in the 23 case, in the 19 case.
Hold on, because I just want the part where he reads him what's going on.
Come on.
Let me fast forward it, because we finna get some blocking going.
Please let me know. Okay, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? You can put your hand down. Please state your full name. How old are you? How far did you go? What's going on this afternoon? You understand you're resolving 2 pending felony cases this afternoon. Mr. Haddad or Mr. Nascimento, have you seen or heard Mr. Henry say or do anything which would call into question in your mind whether you understand what's going on?
He did not say no 20 years.
All right, so Mr. Henry,
Don't
2
get
cases,
blocked,
sir. I'm gonna go
the
one at a
man.
time. In case number 19-1871 CF10A, this is before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state. You were charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is murder in the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital offenses. The maximum and mandatory penalty is life in Florida State Prison.
This is what he was facing, guys, before he made the deal.
Murder in the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty is 30 years in Florida State Prison. In case number 23-10643 CF10A, you're charged in count 1, tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Count 2, directing the activities of a criminal gang. That's a first degree penalty. Again, punishable up to life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. Again, as it relates to a first degree murder charge, that is punishable by a maximum penalty of life in Florida State Prison. And count 7, unlawful use of a 2-way communication device.
Oh no, ain't nothing about no mistake. Because I tried to correct his mistake, and he kept on basically telling me that I was wrong. So I'm gonna show him I was right, and then he most definitely getting blocked.
That's charged, that's a second degree felony. The maximum penalty is 15 years in Florida State Prison. So sir, again, before the agreement you made with the state, before the deal you made with the state, your maximum exposure here was life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
Lord, he
Sir,
was
you
facing a
understand all the
bunch of
pending
time.
charges and the maximum possible penalties involved. And it's my understanding that you want to resolve.
I
both
know
cases
I am,
today.
Gillian.
Is that correct? And that resolution is an agreement you've reached with the state, the terms of which are as follows. Number 1, in the 19 case, you're going to plead no contest to both counts of accessory after the fact. In the 23 case, you're going to plead no contest to all 4 counts as charged. In exchange for that, the state is going to null process that is dropped 2 first degree murder cases. All right, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. Yes, sir. What's happening with that?
That would be no problem.
So he's only going to plead to the tampering with a witness in a capital felony, conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device?
Just the tampering and the unlawful use.
Just count 1 and count 7. State, you're going to null process count 2 and count 5,
Correct, Your Honor.
as it relates only to Mr. Henry. Okay. So, Mr. Henry, what it's going to be is 2 counts of accessory after the fact, tampering with a witness in a capital felony, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. In exchange for that, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty On the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in Florida State Prison. That will be followed by 6 years of reporting probation. In the unlawful use of a two-way communication device, that's a second-degree felony. The maximum exposure, it's the second as charged, I believe. It's a third, except as it relates to a capital case, but I'm happy to
Our
look it up.
habits are enough we discussed, so.
Well, what did you want the negotiated sentence to be for that?
That one is going to be the maximum time for,
5 years? Is that what you're going to do?
correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
He took the
All right,
deal,
so,
guys.
as to that count, it's going to be adjudication of 5 years in Florida State Prison. So the 2 accessory counts as well as the tampering count, those come with 6 years of reporting probation after the Department of Corrections sentence. I'll give you credit for all the time that you've served in both cases. All of those counts will run concurrently. All those sentences will run concurrently. All counts in all cases, that is at the same time with each other. I'm going to have to impose mandatory court costs. I'm going to order restitution payable to Terry Bagley and payable to Ashley Phillips and reservists to the amount. I'm going to give the state 120 days to tell me the amount of that restitution. If they fail to do so within 120 days, there will be no restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys agree on the amount, I will impose that as another condition of your sentence to pay back that restitution. If they come back with an amount and the attorneys do not agree on the amount, I will conduct a restitution hearing. Sir, lastly, and I want to make it very clear on the record, and it's
Now
unrelated to this
listen.
negotiated change of plea, I guess at some point after the fact, the state wants to take a proffer from you or have a discussion with you, ask you some questions about whatever that may be. What I want you to understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution.
Okay.
The deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ballgame.
All right, so you get to rock out, dog. You good. So basically, they want to talk. He was right. I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let me block myself. So basically, he said that at some point that the state will want to talk to Bortland, and that regardless of his answer, it has no bearing on the court or on Bortland. His deal is his deal, and basically, it won't affect him. So you was right, dog. I was wrong. Shout out to you. I had it backwards. That's what's up. See, that's what a man do. You admit when you was wrong. I was wrong, and he was right. Shout out to you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? You had your listening ears on. I was listening wrong. Yeah,
You understand
okay.
all that, sir? The deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ballgame. Do you understand?
There
all
you
that,
go,
sir?
Kenny.
Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all. The deal you've negotiated is the deal. You can understand, sir, is I guess that's part of this negotiated resolution, but your answers to any of those questions, whatever they might be, have no bearing on me and have no bearing on this negotiated resolution.
Yeah, but let's get Jeff Bro right up out of here on the first rocket ship smoking. Cause boy, I ain't the goofy. Your sister the goofy. She was goofy when she keep on calling my phone and I keep on telling her she ugly and I don't want her. That's goofy. Yeah, get your goofy self right up out of here for even making that comment. We'll holler at you, dog. Yeah, you on the first thing smoking into the stratosphere. We'll holler at you, buddy.
In other words, the deal you've negotiated is the deal you've negotiated, and that's the ballgame. Do you understand all that, sir? Have you had enough time to talk to your lawyers about all that? They've answered all your questions?
No, he don't
Sure
get out
that that's
today. He
what
got to
you
serve 10 years.
Because I want to emphasize, Mr. Henry, and I'm going to do this again at the end of my plea colloquy. Whether you resolve the case by way of a negotiated plea or an open plea to me, or you resolve the case by way of a trial, it doesn't matter to me at all. But due to the resources that have been devoted to this case, I have 250 jurors summoned for jury duty starting tomorrow. So I want to be very thorough with you here this afternoon, because if you wake up tomorrow or the next day and you decide you've changed your mind and you want to resolve this case, both cases, by way of a jury trial, that's not going to happen. If you want to have a trial, the trial starts tomorrow. If you want to accept the deal, you can accept the deal today. But there's not going to be any buyer's remorse, in other words.
So if he wouldn't have accepted the deal, his trial would have started tomorrow, guys. You know, the judge already had the jury lined up or whatever. So if Bortland wouldn't have accepted this deal, he would have been in court tomorrow. His trial would have started, but he accepted it. And as we see, he's all smiles, guys. But I still can't help but wonder, does this deal affect YNW Melly's case. Because he just basically, you know what I'm saying, pled to accessory after the fact, this, that, and the third. So, does this affect Melly? Is Melly cooked? I'm just asking, y'all. I'm just asking. He happy about that 10. I would be happy too. I'm gonna have to look into this further, guys, and see how this could directly affect Melly. Because I feel like it can. I feel like they gave him this deal. He pled to something that could basically affect Melly, guys. That's my thinking. Because how Melly gonna be saying he didn't do nothing, and then his co-defendant just took a deal saying that he basically did, and you know what I'm saying? Like, basically saying that, like, I don't know, y'all. I feel like this might affect him, y'all.
You're about to be sending them.
You know, they took his fingerprints and everything. Looks like they're walking him out of there.
Everything's off today. Thank you. Please tell everyone else thank you very much.
Thursdays, I think
All right. So there y'all have it, man. There y'all have it. So Borland is basically good with his decision, you know, and yeah, man. He about to get up out of there. 10 years, however much time he's already been in there, you know, however much time he's already been in there, y'all, he gets a little bit, he get his time served, plus however much more he has to serve. So he finna get up out of there, y'all, and basically however many years he have till 10, and then they will release him on probation for the next 6. He most definitely is gonna be a free man without having that unaliving hanging over his head, y'all. And as they continue to give me more information, or if I see how this directly affects Melly, I'll come back and give y'all what I've learned, you know. But this is crazy, y'all. So Borland took the plea deal, guys. 10 years incarceration, 6 years probation, guys, along with some fees and fines that he gonna have to pay. But it's looking like he ain't going to trial. What's up, Laleezy? So as I always do, we on the road to 50K. If you new over here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. Most definitely double tap that screen. That's how you hit the like button. If you have not, click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, and y'all stay safe out there, man. YNW Borland takes the deal for 10 years incarceration and 6 years of probation once that's done. Y'all stay safe out there. It's time for me to make my exit. Y'all already know how this go. Shout out to my moderators as well as all of my members. Y'all are what makes this worth doing, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Sidewalk Gang, checking out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone, y'all. Y'all be good.